So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed Alison Mock preaching. And if you've never heard Alison Mock preach, you really need to make an effort. She is a wonderful preacher. So Alison preached today for us, and this the third Sunday of Lent. And she reflected on the story of the Israelites in the desert, complaining to Moses that they were thirsty and that he had brought them out into the desert only to die. And Moses, listening to God's instruction to strike the rock, and the water came forth from the rock. And Alison invited us to think about transitions and what it's like to move from one place to another. She told us about what it was like as an accomplished flautist to go to university and discover that she had to relearn everything, tear everything back down to its basics, back to playing scales, playing notes, learning simply how to breathe, and how that was hard for her. She had assumed that she would leap immediately into playing the great pieces. Well, the Israelites too, they'd experienced a God who brought plagues, a God who divided the Red Sea, a God who was thunder and noise and spectacular light shows. But now out in the desert, they were looking around for that God and not finding that God. They were looking around for the things that they were used to, even when they were slaves. They were still used to being able to find water easily, to have food. But in the desert, it was different. And so they had to learn how to find food again. They had to learn how to find water. And sometimes when we go through transition, it's important that we learn to, look to the ground and recognize the water that flows all around us. Recognize the abundance, the grace that is there. If we keep looking up to the stars, we miss all of the abundance on the ground. Transition sometimes is letting go of the way things have been to recognize the way things are and to see the gifts that will lead us to where we need to be. Nobody goes from Egypt to the promised land in one step. None of us move from where we are to where we would like to be immediately. We need to transition, and sometimes it means we have to relearn. We have to go back to basics. And Alison heard that in the story and shared that with us today. Water from the rock. And what else did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed community, the chance to be together, the opportunity to share our thoughts and our prayers, to wonder, to dream, and to be together. But mostly, you missed lots of water from lots of rocks. Hopefully, you don't miss us next week, because we missed you today. We don't want to miss you next week. God bless.